And welcome to our fifth Highland football game this year against the Saguaro High School varsity football team. Tonight, Highland coming off a rough loss against the Perry Pumas, 35-10. I'm your lone commentator, King Covert, and your Highland Hawks will be introduced here in just a moment, as a weather delay has actually impacted this game by 20 minutes. And your Highland Hawks will be coming out here momentarily, coming off a rough four-game stretch led by quarterback Rylan Reyes, who has primarily struggled in his 4 games starting, but Highland looks to turn it around tonight against the 20th ranked in Arizona Saguaro High School football team, as Saguaro comes out of the field, and now we'll see when Highland comes out. Saguaro, ranked 20th in the state, has remained competitive this season, and Saguaro 2-2 this season, but looks to be a dark horse in this Arizona Open, as Highland gets ready to come out here as they do dim out the lights. And out come your Highland Hawks, ready to storm out the field tonight. Barring this weather today, Highland is ready to go, led by Rylan Reyes tonight. And Highland looks to go 1-4, as they've started 0-4 this season. Tonight, the strategy looks to be running the ball with their 3-man backfield with Boston Renneman, Cruz Colmore, and Cayman Molino. They have all played pretty well this year, but it has not been enough for this Highland offense to prosper. Cayman Molino being the primary of those 3 backs, very elusive on that inside edge. Cruz Colmore very active on the outside edge. I've seen a lot of jet sweeps come with Cruz Colmore this year, and Boston Renneman, that power inside back, getting ready to go tonight as Highland huddles up in that end zone. Highland off to a rough start this season, and they look to turn it around here with Luke Young presumably coming back here in their next matchup in 2 weeks against Castillo. But first, have to look for the win tonight as they want to keep their open hopes alive. As Highland comes out of the huddle, we'll be ready to kick off here as the coin toss occurs. Highland looking to just kind of get something going, as their momentum has been very on the left here, as Highland just has not had much chemistry at all on the offensive side of the ball. Their defense has held up, led by Grady Crandall, who actually had 10 tackles last week against Perry. In that losing effort. Grady Crandall was kind of those lone stars here for your Highland Hawks. Grady Crandall all year has just shown his skill, and that will be one of our X factors tonight, including wide receiver Anthony Martin, who could be elusive on that outside edge. We'll see if he can get going tonight, as well as Highland has had a hard time drawing up some plays for him. As Anthony Martin, if you draw up the right plays for him, he can really get going, but he needs to find space. And Highland has just not done that. Prioritize creative coach calling tonight, as Highland looks to just kind of become more open here, as we will begin our national anthem and begin the game here very shortly. As we are about to kick off here for your Highland Saguaro game here. Saguaro looking on fire here after beating Cesar Chavez, who's 63rd ranked in the state last week, 45-7. Seems like a very winnable matchup here for Saguaro tonight, as I believe they should be favored going into this one, even though Highland is ranked 18th in the state despite their 0-4 record. I believe Saguaro has had more of a competitive edge against teams such as Desert Mountain, who is number 16 in the state. They lost 24-21 to them, and then they lost to South Point Catholic, number 14 in the state, 34-31, as Saguaro has remained competitive in every single game they have played this year and looks to be that dark horse team that could make an open run if they can get going here tonight. Saguaro 2-2, but much better than what their record has stated them to me, as both teams come out for their kickoff, as Highland has some discussions with their ref. Again, I am your lone commentator, Caden Covert, tonight. I will be giving you some play-by-play and color commentary here for your Highland Hawks tonight, as Highland is ready to go. You're a very, very small crowd here tonight, as a weather delay has caused this game to be pushed back here by 20 minutes, but overall very wet day here in the valley, as tons of storms just rolled out throughout this area, so very damp weather here tonight. So not much of a crowd showing up here tonight, but we still have a solid student section for that matter, as Saguaro gets ready to kick off. Highland elects to receive here to start off the game, and Highland looking for that bounce back here tonight. Saguaro gets ready to kick it off. And we are off here. And it looks like Cayman Molyneux is on the return. He bobbles it. He gets to the 20, to the 25, 30, trucks the defender to the 35. That is a start that you want to see for Highland, as Rylan Reyes and this Highland offense comes out here looking for a spark. And Highland looking rather bleak offensively this season, and we'll see if Highland can really gather themselves together. I believe Coach Farrell needs to gather himself with play calling, and we'll see here as Molyneux is in the backfield. He's in shotgun. Two receivers to his left, and looks like the refs are going to stop the play. We'll see what is going on here. There must be some issue that the refs are deciding to go over here. There is a stoppage of play at the moment. Whitecap signaling. All right,